Here on Plus. I'm Michael Sandlin. Thank you so much for joining us on your Sunday evening. We'll get to all of our top stories and more in just a moment, but first, let's get a check of our forecast. Meteorologist John Birchfield. John, we've gotten that fall feel so far this weekend. Is that staying into the work week?
Well, there is going to be a gradual warm up, Michael, but the consistency is going to be the dry and sunny weather. A sunny work week ahead with a gradual warm up to the 80s. That'll have you thinking summer. Here's a look at our current conditions. Temperatures shy of 70 degrees. Some of those fair weather clouds are going to be fading away tomorrow, so there is going to be a little more blue in the sky, a little less of that cumulus cloud cover. Temperatures have topped out in the 70s in Fremont, a little bit cooler near the lake shore, upper 60s across Lucas and Wood counties, wrapping up the Black Swamp Arts Festival this weekend. The bus stop is going to be brisk and chilly tomorrow. With those clear skies, we are going to fall back into the low to mid 40s, so the light jacket is going to be a necessity out the door tomorrow morning. And then as we advance towards the afternoon, sunshine and low 70s, so a couple degrees warmer and less of that fair weather cloud cover. Sunshine is expected your Monday. Winds are going to be very light and calm. After a chilly morning, I do expect bright sun heading into the afternoon. Overall, it is going to be a mild afternoon for those sports practices and events as well. Monday afternoon and evening, just about as ideal as you can get for football practice, cross-country practice, and all of those after-school activities. Now, if you're looking forward to a warm-up, I do have several days that'll be up in the 80s, but you may be wondering, what about rain chances? I'll let you know coming up in that full 10-day forecast.
A woman is dead and two other people are seriously hurt after a crash Saturday morning in Deerfield Township. Deputies say it happened just before noon at the intersection of Stearns Highway and McCannon Road. A Volkswagen failed to stop at a stop sign and was hit by another car. The woman riding in the Volkswagen died at the hospital, and both drivers were taken to the hospital with serious injuries. Investigators say everyone was wearing seatbelts and alcohol is not believed to have been a factor. Turning to national headlines for a moment, family and friends gathered this afternoon in East downtown Houston to remember 11-year-old Julian Guzman. Guzman was shot and killed last weekend after playing a prank known as Ding Dong Ditch. Many wore shirts with his photo honoring a young life lost far too soon. The parking lot was full as angel wings were carried into the funeral.
It's just so tragic. There's no words for it. To have that, like, a life to be taken away that young.
Police say the suspect was waiting outside and fired as Guzman ran away. The tragedy has shaken the entire community. President Trump traveled to New York on Sunday to attend the U.S. Open. His visit comes as he continues to come under scrutiny for vowing to send federal troops into cities including Chicago. A new CBS News poll finds the nation remains divided as to whether National Guard troops should be sent to cities beyond Washington. CBS News has the story.
Traveled to New York Sunday to attend the U.S. Open. Prior to his departure, he defended his recent vows to send in the National Guard to cities like Chicago.
We're going to clean up our cities. We're going to clean them up so they don't kill 5 people every weekend. That's not war. That's common sense.
A new CBS News poll finds 42% of those surveyed favor the deployment of troops to other cities beyond Washington, D.C., while 58% oppose it. Opinion is sharply split along party lines, with 85% of Republicans favoring the deployment and 93% of Democrats opposing it. This weekend, President Trump posted a meme on social media that ominously warned Chicago is about to find out why it's called the Department of War. State and city leaders condemned the president's post and argued statistics show crime in the city is down.
None of this is about fighting crime or making Chicago safer. None of it. For Trump, it's about testing his power and producing a political drama to cover up for his corruption.
On Face the Nation, Illinois Senator Tammy Duckworth, a Democrat, condemned the president's recent threats to the Windy City.
The President of the United States essentially just declared war on a major city in his own nation. This is not normal, Margaret. This is not acceptable behavior.
CBS News has learned the Trump administration is pushing forward with a plan to turn a naval base north of Chicago into a staging area for potential immigration operations. According to an internal government memo obtained by CBS News, the Department of Homeland Security requested roughly 250 federal agents and 140 vehicles at the base. Nicole Killian, CBS News, Washington.
Besides Chicago, President Trump said last week he's also looking to send National Guard troops into Baltimore, which the president told reporters is a, quote, hellhole. Football season is back. Today was the first NFL Sunday of the season, with most teams kicking off at 1 p.m. Eastern. That includes the Browns and the Bengals. The in-state rivals faced off in Cleveland this afternoon. Browns rookie and Bowling Green alum Harold Fannin Jr. saw his first real NFL action, but ultimately it was the Bengals that came up with the 17-16 win. A lot of the blame goes toward Cleveland's rookie kicker, who missed an extra point and a field goal in the second half. Cleveland has only won their season opener twice since 2004. However, before the game, Browns fans showed up in full force on the Muni lot, rain or shine, ready to kick off the season with tailgating fun. From grilling and games to nonstop barking, the dog pound energy was strong. One couple even tied the knot in orange and brown, saying their wedding was the perfect way to start the new season. The Browns surprised the newlyweds with a 50-yard line tickets to celebrate, and for many, Sundays are now officially reserved for football and cheering on their dogs. And as the NFL season kicks off, for many fans, that means betting on the action. Ohio legalized sports betting at the start of 2023, and it's been allowed in Michigan since 2019. The American Gaming Association says revenue from gambling on games hit $115 billion last year. The group anticipates as much as $30 billion will come from the NFL season alone, and scammers are trying to cash in.
You know you are in a legal app if you are asked to verify your age and identity, which oftentimes requires the disclosure of a driver's license number or a social security number.
And it's important to note the group also found 68% of people who bet on sports reported at least one gambling behavior that could be considered harmful. So remember, it's important to bet responsibly. Hancock County is raising awareness around suicide and suicide prevention. They hosted an inaugural 5K to bring the community together to end the stigma around suicide. Participants had access to services such as NAMI and a chance to run in remembrance of someone they lost to suicide. Hancock County Sheriff Mike Cortez shared a time he was struggling with his own mental health.
It led into that very dark hole, and I was able to find my way out with the love and support of my wife and my family, and some other people in the community that just surrounded me and said, this isn't it for you, and we want you to be better. We know you are better. This is just a bad time that you're experiencing.
The event was held at Liberty Benton High School. September is Suicide Prevention and Awareness Month. Radio amateurs from across the area were hamming it up today. The Findlay Radio Club sponsored the 83rd Findlay Ham Fest. Festival goers had the chance to check out and purchase items such as radios, computers, and other broadcasting equipment. Organizers tell WTOL 11 that they even added presentations using STEM to attract a younger crowd.
Ham radio was just a nickname that came to being in amateur radio back in the early 1900s when the radio first got off the ground, and they were hamming it up. So it was typically referred to ham radio because of the camaraderie.
Copy that. Organizers say over 2,000 people came to the event. The Findlay Radio Club is also celebrating its 100th year. Well, a few people woke up a little bit richer this morning after last night's massive Powerball drawing. The winning tickets were sold in Missouri and Texas, which means those winners will split the $1.7 billion jackpot. $2 million winning tickets were sold in Kansas and Texas, and 18 $1 million winning tickets were sold across 13 states. So, with all the excitement for last night's drawing, Dominique O'Neill came up with some last-minute lottery ticket buyers right here in Northwest Ohio to hear about their lottery dreams.
You ain't need a receipt.
No, that's okay.
At a speedway in Fremont, the lines were moving steady. And no, they weren't there for gas or a candy bar. They all wanted one thing, a little sheet of paper that could make their wildest dreams come true.
I would just go build me a house somewhere and, have my own little land and little farm and stuff, growing my own vegetables and food and everything.
This Powerball jackpot is one for the record books, coming in at $1.8 billion. But it still takes the silver medal compared to the record of more than $2 billion back in 2022. But these people aren't picky. For someone like James, any prize of that size is a chance to rewrite his life.
I'm from Fremont, and if I won, I would help everybody that's in the same spot that I am that's homeless.
Honestly, I would probably go live off the grid. I'll go do my own thing, get as far away from people as possible.
While Adam Lux says if he won, he would spend more time with his family and explore.
Oh yeah, just buy land, we just have all kinds of fun, hunting, fishing, doing trips. Yeah, that's what the goal is. So, yeah, maybe donate some because that's a lot of money.
But for Herman Bates, sometimes it's better not to get too far ahead with your dreams.
Travel, vacation, yeah. I don't know till I really get the money in my pocket.
That was Dominique O'Neill reporting. The Winds end a streak of 42 consecutive drawings without a jackpot winner, a stretch dating all the way back to May. The jackpot now resets at $20 million for tomorrow's drawing.
I think that last gentleman would buy season tickets at the Big House as well. Probably $1.8 billion could afford some nice box seats.
Now, John, we were talking about this yesterday, and you've now had 24 hours to kind of marinate. Is there anything you would buy with $1.8 billion that you're really just kind of itching for right now?
You know, I kind of like the sentiment of traveling and, you know, funding some trips that you might not otherwise be able to do. Because, yeah, you could buy a giant house that looks
sounds great, by the way.
Looks like a bond layer or something. But you could also, you know, fly around the world wherever you want. And having that freedom of time would be good as well. What about you, Michael?
You know, I don't want to be that guy, but there's a lot of altruistic things you can do with $1.8 billion. So I'd like to think I'd save some of it for me, maybe a little private island and mind my business, but I also would love to be able to help some people out, maybe change some lives.
Yeah,
so,
you could do a lot of good with that.
Absolutely. And you know what's going to be a lot of good this week is going to be the forecast.
Yeah, good weather, certainly, if you're soaking up that sunshine. It is going to get warmer, though. I know we were talking about how chilly it was this morning.
Oh, my goodness, yes.
Yeah, that fall feel going to be a thing of the past this week, and one last taste of summer, perhaps, with temperatures climbing up into the 80s. Now, tomorrow morning is going to be downright chilly. We are going to be in the low to mid 40s, so that warm-up is going to take some patience after a cool start to the work week, and you'll need that light jacket or sweatshirt out the door for the bus stop and the morning commute. Temperatures over the course of your Sunday evening have been in the upper 60s with a mix of sunshine and fair weather clouds. A few spots did hit 70, like Henry County and then over towards Sandusky County as well. Here's the cold front that brought us that drop in temperatures. That is now well out to sea over the Atlantic. Temperatures across the region are below normal. Only 65 in Cleveland, 63 in Grand Rapids, 67 degrees back towards the Windy City, and upper 60s in the Toledo Metro. Bus stop tomorrow morning is going to be a cool one, 43 degrees, getting the kids ready for the new school week and work week. Afternoon highs do top out in the lower 70s, so gradually turning a little milder through the afternoon. There is going to be the chance for a few spots even cooler west of town. Areas like Williams, Defiance, and Putnam counties could come awfully close to 40 degrees, although not quite chilly enough to worry about any frost concerns. Now, the lakeshore, due to the milder waters of Lake Erie, is going to keep locations like Port Clinton and Sandusky a little bit milder in the 50s. Afternoon highs do make it up to the 70s. Winds are going to be calm. Sunshine is going to be abundant. A really beautiful looking day. Just keep that jacket handy. Sunshine and hardly any fair weather clouds. Highs are going to be right around the 70-degree mark. Now, that after school practice is going to feature temperatures right around 70 degrees, a mild one with sunny skies and light winds for those football practices, as well as any sort of outdoor activities. Now, the warm-up is going to arrive by midweek, and it's likely to stick around through mid to late September. This weather map takes us all the way through September 21st. So that warmer outlook is going to bring some above average weather conditions, not only for us locally, but all the way up towards the Dakotas, and much of the lower 48 United States is going to be above average in the temperature department. Looking at the next couple of days, we do have sunshine and 70s Monday, Tuesday turning milder with those highs climbing to the mid to upper 70s, and into the middle of the week, I'm expecting highs that'll be in the lower 80s with beautiful weather conditions. It is going to warm up even more Thursday with low 80s likely and a sunny stretch of weather. Now, with the sunny stretch, there is also going to be a dry spell. We are going to be hard pressed to get a single drop of rain in the next 10 days, possibly even longer, and that is likely going to worsen those developing drought conditions and potentially lead to that moderate